Manchester City versus Liverpool, 4:30 on Sunday. Here is your match preview. But before we get into that, what a night. What a night we had on Tuesday. Outside the ground, inside the ground. An absolute dominating performance against Real Madrid. Got to follow that up now. What a comeback this would be for Liverpool if you go to Manchester City and win. What kind of statement does that send to Arsenal? What kind of mentality shift is that after 6 defeats in 7 to potentially being 3 wins in a row with the international break to come? And then it's a more favourable fixture list after the international break. And then there's no break until March, right? Massive, massive, massive game this. I've got to say, before I get into it, I've got to say a big shout out to Mario. He is the man of the moment right now. I don't think I've ever seen that many people sharing our content and, you know, screenshots of Mario and kissing the badge as well was beautiful because he wasn't anti-Trent. He wasn't, you know, swearing and shouting. He was kissing the Liverpool badge. It wasn't anti-Trent. It was pro-LFC. And that's why I loved it because it just sums him up. What a fan. And there's obviously a lot of people mad with the picture I put up saying the grass isn't always greener. And, you know, it's been very well received. It's a bit of banter. But it's got about 3 million views on Twitter right now. It's blowing up. As is it's all positive, though. It's good because, you know, I'm celebrating my team winning the game. You know, Mario as well. How can anyone hate on him? People that are saying he's getting the next Ryanair flight home. Bro, he lives, you already know. I don't need to persuade any Kop TV viewers. But if you're new here, he lives 5 minutes away from the ground. And he's a tour guide. And he's lived in Liverpool now for 10 years. And he knows more about Liverpool than most people have forgot. And I myself live in Liverpool. If you're also new here and you're thinking, oh, I bet he's on the first train back to North London. Of course, I grew up in North London. But all my family from Liverpool, Scotty rolls. And I don't know why I'm even saying this 6 years into the Kop TV, but I now live in Liverpool and have done for 5 years, and I've been going there my whole life. So, yeah, it's beautiful when we win. We have to celebrate those moments. And I think the way Mario summed it up was brilliant. He is, in my opinion, the man of the moment right now. And would you guys like to see some kind of documentary about how Mario became a Liverpool fan, about his journey from, you know, Italy, then Bulgaria, then to Liverpool, hasn't missed a game at Anfield for 10 years. Would you like a little documentary? I think it's time we explained it to you a bit more about the story of Super Mario. But anyway, forget all of that right now. It's all in the past, right? Sunday's game is absolutely massive. And Liverpool have potentially been boosted by the news that Manchester City's preparations for this crucial Premier League game against Liverpool have been disrupted by another fitness concern involving key midfielder Rodri. The Spaniard, who recently returned from a long knee injury, has suffered a fresh setback just days before the meeting. In his post-match Champions League encounter with Dortmund, Pep did say he didn't feel perfect. We didn't want to take the risk before kick-off. It's a small setback. So there has been a little bit of a setback in his injury. He needs a bit more time to feel good and be ready to play football. What matters most is that he's fully fit and doesn't suffer another long-term absence. So when Rodri hasn't been playing in that midfield, they've normally drawn for Nico Gonzalez with Bernardo Silva in that almost double pivot, which I think would benefit Liverpool. If you can get Florian Wirtz floating in that space between the left wing and their almost right-sided central midfielder, and then you overload that with your Soboslais as well, I think we could have some joy on that side, and then obviously going towards the goal and scoring. And you know, we won 2-0 there last season. It was a very controlled game. Manchester City barely got a shot off, and that's how you lock down Haaland. We almost played last year in a low block. I think we had something around 35% possession across the game. And you're thinking, well, on paper, it looks like a battering. But we won the game because we were very clinical with our finishing. Don't forget, it was the first time since 2015 that Liverpool had won there this year, or last season, sorry. But I think it was in February this season because I was in Thailand for it. I remember watching it shout Fitzgerald's in Bangkok. So do that again. It worked last year. I think we overload their midfield. We've got players that are going to go from wide to central in Mo and Flo if he's on that side. Mo and Flo, that sounds good. I do think Flo should start this game. And then Ekitike up front. So my lineup prediction would be Mamadashvili. Imagine if he gets 3 clean sheets in a row. Listen, you've got to stop the source to get to Haaland. It's one ball over the top. A lot of high pressing teams like a Bournemouth, for example, all it took was a shirky header literally 10 yards, and Haaland was in and he scored. We cannot let that happen. We cannot have a high line against them. So Mamadashvili, brilliant again against Real Madrid. The right back Conor Bradley. I mean, it's undoubted at the minute with Frimpong's injury. With him back from injury, there's a little bit more of a debate. But Conor Bradley's been absolutely unbelievable against Real Madrid. So obviously he starts with Ibu and Verge, who actually were brilliant as well. I don't think enough was said about how good Ibu Konate was on Tuesday night. Left back Andy Robbo. I mean, I know we're asking a lot of him. I know Kirkes came on at the end and absolutely smashed, was it Chouameni, put it into Rosette. That's the best thing Kirkes has done in a Liverpool shirt, by the way. But I absolutely loved it. So if he's on that smoke, then obviously there's a place for him. I think in these kind of games, you could probably afford to play Robertson for the majority and then bring on Kirkes towards the end for a bit more energy and legs. But in the big games like this, I think Robbo's experience just gets you over the line sometimes. Unbelievable against Real Madrid as well. So he's obviously starting for me. He's only 31. He's not 38. And then Ryan Gravenberch, obviously in the sitting position. I thought, again, brilliant against Real Madrid. Brilliant against Aston Villa. Got a goal. He's got to carry on that. And Alexis McAllister, he's forced his way back in, really. There was a couple of weeks where Curtis Jones was flirting with the that kind of central position. But since Grav has come back, he's not only scored, but again, he seamlessly just protected that back line. So for me, he's in there with McAllister and obviously Dom Soboslai, who's pretty much just floating. I'll be honest, like in the games that I've watched in person recently, including the other night, he doesn't really have a set position. You've almost got Mac and Grav covering, and then it kind of just allows him to be 20 yards ahead of them, on the right, on the left, through the middle, first presser. So this guy literally covers the whole pitch for Liverpool, and the only player that ran more than him on Tuesday night was Flo Wirtz. So again, get him in the team as well. Left wing, Ekitike and Salah, and then off the bench to stretch the game, Kirkes, Chiesa, Jones, Gakpo. Brilliant option to have off the bench, Cody Gakpo. And Arne Slot's press conference is tomorrow, 9 o'clock, so make sure you watch that. But in that, we'll find out if Alexander Isak has trained enough to be in this squad, because imagine that from the bench. Obviously, Alexander Isak, he needs a goal. Confidence-wise, form-wise, he needs minutes. He needs to almost now push Ekitike out the team, who, apart from actually scoring on Tuesday night, did everything but run his socks off. So let's see if Isak's on the bench. Obviously, Curtis Jones will probably come on and play. Endo, if you're looking to shore things up at the end. So it's a horrible game to watch, let's be honest, in terms of what's at stake, what's happened between these two teams in the last few years. I mean, I've almost winced whenever I've gone there recently to the Etihad, but last year was different, and hopefully that sets now a precedent going forward of how you go and beat Man City away, with no Rodri as well. It's a massive plus for Liverpool. Obviously Haaland, obviously Shirky, obviously Phil Foden in the last couple of games has started to come back into it. Very dangerous players, but if you stop them at the source, yes, they're going to have chances. Yes, they'll probably have the majority of the ball at times, but just stop the source. I mean, that run is so inevitable. As soon as there's any space between the right back and the right centre back, he's in, and to be fair though, we did beat them 2-0 home and away last season, right? A clean sheet against City twice. Who's done that recently? So Konate and Virgil do have experience, very recent experience of locking up Haaland. And then for them to do that, the midfield have got to do their job and lock up Bernardo if he plays one in behind, or Shirky if he can get on the ball and play. Foden if he comes inside a little bit more. So it's going to be a very difficult game. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And there's no illusion here that, it's still such a difficult place to go, right? But I do think last season will count because it's Arne Slot. He's played City twice. He's won twice now. Going into his third. Can he make it 3 out of 3? Can he make it three wins in a row as well, which would be unbelievable if he managed to do that in his first 3 games. It's just the other Manchester team he hasn't beaten yet. So score prediction. Look, I'd love to sit here and say, clean sheet. Because of the last 2 games, I don't think it's as easy when you're playing against Haaland and the creative players they've got. But boy, would I love another clean sheet. That really, if Liverpool win this game against City, we are back. Right? Yes, you could have won 3 games in a row against Norwich, Southampton in the Cup and Luton in the FA Cup. Yeah, they're wins. Great. It builds momentum. But the calibre here, we're talking about Villa who won 5 out of 6 whilst we were losing 6 out of 7. Real Madrid haven't lost in 12 or 13, just beating them convincingly. It should have been 4-0 if it wasn't for Courtois' octopus arms. And then if we can go to City and win, mentality-wise, beating those 3 in a row, home and away, between all the games, that is a mentality shift. And then you almost wouldn't want the international break to come. You'd want to carry that on. But then after this, it's Forest at home, right? So win this game. I'm going to go for 2-1 Liverpool. I'll go for 2-1 Liverpool. 4:30 kickoff. Mario and Jack are going to be at Box Park Liverpool for you. And I'm actually working with LFC TV straight after the game. But of course, straight after that, I will be doing a Kop TV fully analysed, in-depth video. I think it's going to be on my own, actually, that one. But then obviously Monday, we're back around the table here for Hot Copic. So looking forward to that. But right, I'm going 2-1. That's my lineup prediction. Again, off the bench, plenty of options. So let me know where you're watching this from. Let me know what your score prediction and lineup is going to be. Don't forget press conference tomorrow. So I'll have a press conference reaction video for you around 10:30. But until then, let me know what you think this game is going to be like. Let me know. Take care. All the best.